However, as he witnessed the atrocities that were committed by the Germans against the Jews, something changed inside of him. He saw Jews herded into crowded ghettos, randomly beaten and humiliated. Some were beaten to death, and he was horrified at the senseless brutality against the Jews, helpless people. So instead of lining his pockets with greed, he became consumed with the desire to do everything he could to save Jews. Everything he could possibly do. He used his wealth to protect Jewish workers from deportation to concentration camps. He bribed Nazi officials to keep Jews safe. He spent his entire fortune, in fact, on bribes and on black market purchases for food and medicine that he gave to the Jews. Oscar showed unwavering loyalty to the Jews, treating them with dignity, treating them with humanity. He risked his life to save Jews. He was arrested 3 different times by the Gestapo, but they released him each time. In 1944, with the Russian army closing in on Poland, the Jews were being sent to concentration camps to be executed. Oscar bribed Germans to let him move his factory back into Germany and take his Jewish workers with him. He made a list of Jewish workers that he thought he could take with them, that he said were essential to the war effort. This included children, housewives, the elderly, and lawyers. He's told the Nazis these people were expert mechanics and engineers and that they were needed. He did that so he could save their lives. He made a list of 1,200 Jews, which is known today as Oskar Schindler's List. He referred to the workers as my children. After the war, he was penniless, having spent all of his money to save the Jews. He fled Europe, went to Argentina, settled on a farm, and several Jewish families came along with him to live with him on his farm. You see, blood defines relatives, but loyalty defines family. Today, we're going to be talking about loyalty. Loyalty. I believe loyalty is one of the greatest subjects that we find in the Bible. I think the entire Old Testament is about loyalty. It's about a people who demonstrated their loyalty to Yahweh by keeping his commandments, by not serving other gods, worshiping the one true God. And the New Testament, I think, is all about loyalty. It's all about being faithful to Jesus, faithful to the end. Martyr after martyr died for their faith in Jesus Christ. It's been said 100,000 died in those first centuries. Stephen, Peter, Paul. They died because they would rather die than be disloyal to Jesus. How many of you know loyalty isn't a gray area? Either you're completely loyal or you're not loyal at all. There's no halfway loyal, 3/4 loyal. Oh, I'll think I'll keep 8 of the 10 commandments. That'll give me a passing grade, and then when it's convenient for me, right? That's not loyalty. You're either all in or you're all out. Today we're going to look at one of the greatest examples of loyalty in the Bible, Ruth. The book of Ruth starts with adversity. Let's look at the first 2 verses. Ruth 1 will be in the New King James Version, verses 1 and 2. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to dwell in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. The name of the man was Elimelech. The name of the wife was Naomi. And the names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. And they went to the country of Moab and remained there. All right, what is the country of Moab? You might remember that the country of Moab was started by a man named Moab,